Hey guys, welcome to another GG.CO.UK video with me, Daryl Carter. It's time of the week again to look ahead to the Saturday cards. Let me thrash out some early thoughts to you. A lot more work to be done on these, of course. It's a very busy week this week. Should all the race cards go ahead. Plenty of action all over the shop, so a lot to get through. We're going to start at Kempton. 110 at Kempton is the first race on the box. Espoir Rome heads the market around 7-2, 4-1 best price, I believe. I really fancy this horse. I've liked him for a long time, and I think a mark 140 is definitely well within his reach. He's had 2 starts over fences. First, he was a decent winner on good ground at Huntington. Nice flat track there at Huntington, beating Senior Citizen. He was much better than the bare result there under Kieran Geffins. David Bass took the ride at Haydock, real heavy ground. I don't think that would have suited him whatsoever, so I didn't back him there. Thankfully, he was beaten by Royal Pagtail, who's gone on to win again, rated 152, something like £17 higher. And Espoir de Rome was actually dropped £2 for that. So a mark of 140, I think, is well within his reach. David Bass on board. The ground is going to be a little bit tacky, I do believe, at Kempton. It's good to soft at the moment, but I think once they get the frost covers off on Saturday morning, I think it's going to be a little bit of hard work. But he won't mind that, as long as it's not too deep for me. Espoir de Rome, I really like him, and he's definitely a chaser going places. So I know it's an obvious one to kick the card off, but I'm really keen on him, so I'm going to have to side with him. The race is competitive. None look as progressive as him, though. I would fear Smarty Wild. I think there's a race in this horse coming up soon. He hasn't really progressed on the official figures, but he has got a little bit more to come. I just get the feeling that he's going to pop up sooner or later, and I hope it's not in this race, because I could do with a really good start to this day. 110 at Kempton, that is Espoir de Rome. The next race on the card is the 225 at Chepstow. It's the Juvenile Hurdle Grade 1, and the market is headed by Nasser Lamb. I'm not a massive fan of this horse. I don't think he's beaten too much, and I'm quite happy to take him on. I think his performances have been over-egged, and because he's won by such a distance, everybody's on him, and I think he's far too short at even money. So I'm going to try and take him on. If I can find a bet, I will. I'm not entirely sure there'll be one in here. Bannister's probably not going to go here. He's going to go over to Kempton. It's the easier, softer option. There's a lot of horses on Saturday that are dual entered everywhere, so keep an eye on that. You obviously will get your money back now at this time after declarations if you do back one, but the preferences are on the Racing Post website. I think Adagio is a fairly decent horse. I think 92 about him is fair. I don't think he'll mind the heavy ground. It's going to be really hard work at Chepstow. And Paul Nicholls' Hugris is an interesting runner. I do think it's worth taking Nassalam on, providing there's something to take it on with. If not, then next time I will definitely take him on. So that is the 125 at Chepstow. The next race is the 145 at Kempton. We are all over the place today. Chepstow, Kempton and Wincanton, providing they go on. I know there's an inspection on Friday at Wincanton and at Chepstow. Make sure the card goes ahead. But the 145 at Kempton, again, I'm leaning towards the top of the market here. Not for Rocco. I did like this horse's run last time. I'm not entirely sure up to 3 miles it's going to suit him, though. He did look like he was staying on, but I think he was keeping on the same pace, and the rest of the pack were closing on him. I think the winner was going away at the finish as well. So I think there might be a little bit of misconception there that Rocco wants 3 miles. They've tried him over this trip before. It didn't work, and it's going to be very hard work. So you're going to definitely need to get this 3 miles at Kempton. Lots of horses in here to make cases for. I do like GG.CO.UK. He's come down to a real nice mark of 137 now. Richard Johnson is a real eye-catching booking. He made a really nice return at Bangor when 5th of 13, beating 29 lengths, but he did catch the eye a little bit there. And then at Aintree, he was travelling with plenty of zest in the Grand Zefton before unseating his rider. Richard Johnson, like I say, has been booked. He's off a mark of 137 now, and I think there is definitely a win in him. He's only turned 9. Feels like he's been around forever, but I think he's definitely got more to come. I think they've handicapped their horse here. And any market support should definitely be noted for GG.CO.UK. Commodore is the other horse I'm desperate to get my money back on. Unseated his rider behind Storm Control. I think that he would have kept on all the way to the line and pushed Storm Control very close once he idled after our selection had fell. So Commodore was 6-1. He's not been missed by the market. I do like him. Venetia Williams is hitting a little bit of run of form now, and Brian Hughes has been booked, so that is definitely an eye-catching booking for me. Wincanton, the 205, the Dippers Chase. This is an interesting race, despite only the 3 runners. Couldn't have Lieutenant Rocco for me. I don't think he's quick enough. And I think I might take on Protectorat. Protectorat is a very good novice chaser. But if you go back to his run last time on a right-handed track at Carlisle, he was jumping right out to the left and he lost a lot of ground going out to his left. I was super impressed by Mezer de Zabo beating our selection at the time, Coconut Splash. I think Coconut Splash has got a lot to come. I think it's a very well handicapped horse. And Mezer de Zabo gave him plenty of weight and gave him a beating. I think this horse has got plenty more to come. He receives £3 from the favourite, and he was a previous course and distance winner, which was obviously very impressive. Like I say, Protectorat can jump out to the left-hand side, so 4 to 9 on. That could look a little short come off time for me. Mezer de Zabo is definitely the one I would like to side with there. The 220 at Kempton is the next race. This is another good race on the card. Very competitive action all over the shop today. The Relkeel hurdle has been moved from Cheltenham to Kempton, and of course this is the 220. McFabulous is going to be a very popular favourite after looking like he didn't really stay the 3 miles behind Paisley Park and Time Hill. I'm not entirely convinced by him. He does jump beautifully. He probably will be hard to beat. I've not got a real strong opinion in here. I do think On the Blind Side will run well at a big price, dropping back to this trip. And I do think Somerville Boy is probably a little bit of value over the favourite, despite having to give him £3. This is definitely Somerville Boy's trip. And there's not many 2.5 mile races around. So he will be ready for this race that he won last year at Cheltenham, of course. So there are viable alternatives to the favourite in the Relkeel hurdle if you want to take him on. I wouldn't be running scared of McFabulous, that's for sure. He could have a lot more to come just yet. He's very lightly raced, of course, but if the ground was to get testing, it would definitely ask question marks of him. In fact, the official going I've just seen now has changed to soft, from good to soft, so on the hurdle course. So I think that might be a question mark for the favourite, and that might be a reason to take him on. On the blind side, I won't mind that at all. He stays a bit further than this, so if it does turn into a real test, one that you'll never call, will probably try and make the running in. He could be staying on the strongest, and he's a 14 to 1 shot, the outsider of the field. Back over to Wincanton. It is fast and furious this week. The 235 is the next race at Wincanton. It's handicap chase, class 2 handicap chase. Quite competitive. A lot of these have got double entry, so this is really going to cut up, and it's not a race I'm going to have a strong opinion on at the moment whatsoever, because you literally have half of the field declared at Kempton. First preference for Eric LaRouge is at Kempton. Evander also declared at Kempton, but I think he might go here. This is his first preference. Garlable at Chepstow. Glen Force also declared at Kempton. Mind's Eye also declared at Kempton. Slate House also declared at Kempton. Tidal Flow's first preference is Chepstow. And Two for Gold, his first preference is at Kempton. So, as you can see, that market is going to considerably bloody change come race day. So, we're back to Kempton for the Silviniaco Conti Chase in 255. Imperial Aurora heads to market, and I've got a thing about taking on these favourites this week. I do love Imperial Aurora, as you all know, but I think 4 to 5 is far too short on what he's beaten. I think his win at Carlisle, when he scraped time against Windsor Avenue, beating him by 2.5 lengths, I think that's been over-egged a little bit. Windsor Avenue has been disappointing since, including in a low-grade handicap last time out, and then he beat Itchy Feet by 5 lengths, and I don't think Real Steel was really running up to what he has done previously. So I think you could probably take on Imperial Aurora here, no problem at all. Master Tommy Tucker's very interesting, back on a flat track. He did disappoint me at Cheltenham, I'll be honest with you. I was expecting a bit more from him than that. He didn't jump well, he gets low at his fences, he loses a little bit of ground, and he has fallen here at Kempton twice. So there are negatives there, but yeah, there's also one here. So he's a smart horse on his day, he's just turned 10, he's rated 155, he gets £6 from the favourite, and that will put him in with a good shout really. He's around 3 to 1, I think it's a fair price. The one I do like in here, I think, is Clondall Castle at around 7 to 1. This horse is improving with every single start at the moment. I know the yard, Tom George, really, really like this horse, and they think it's only a matter of time before he wins a Grade 1. This is a Grade 2, so he should be competitive in this race. He received £6 from Riders on the Storm, received £6 from Imperial Aurora, so he must have a fair shout here. He would prefer better ground, I would think, but his last run right-handed, he won by 14 lengths at Hunterton. He does look a flat track, so I think he's got a fair bit more to come, this horse, I really do. That's Clondall Castle in the Silviniaco Conti Chase. The 3:10 at Chepstow is the next race on the card, and it is, of course, the Welsh National, a very, very tough race to pick the winner of course. Secret Reprieve won for us last time out. He's very well in at the weights here. He's the rightful favourite. He's only going to improve. He's a nice young horse. There is very few negatives to take on Secret Reprieve with. I do like Springfield Fox. I think this horse has got a lot more to come. He's very lightly raced. He's only been beaten once over fences, and that was when he failed to complete unseating at Cheltenham behind Raven Hill at the Cheltenham Festival in the 4-miler. So he is a very progressive horse. Also stays all day, won't mind heavy ground. In fact, he'll relish the heavy ground. He's a dual winning point to point and unbeaten in that sphere. He's 15-2. I suppose if you wanted to take him on, the second favourite is well worthy. There are a lot of horses that you can make cases for in here. Like Yalarenki, Rams de Tay, Lord de Mensil. There are plenty in there you can make a case for. Whether this will be a betting proposition for me, I'm not entirely sure at the moment. Probably not, although I do like Springfield Fox, and I do like that. It's probably not going to be a betting proposition for me. The Lanzarote Hurdle is the next race on the card. It's the second to last race on the box. A cracking race, of course. I've got quite a strong fancy in here. I think Glyn has been given an opening mark of 134. I think that's well within reach. I think he showed up really nicely on his seasonal reappearance in that race where the winner was ultimately disqualified. I think he showed up well there. I just think he faltered for fitness. That was his first start after a wind-up. I think he's got loads more to come. If you go back to his run when beating Buzz de Tungang at Doncaster the time before the maiden hurdle, that form has worked out really well. Beating multiple 120, high 120 rated horses. I think he's got loads more to come. He won his point-to-point very easily. That can't have been the best of him the last time. He's around 10-1 best price in places. I think Everglow's a poor favourite. I think he's struggled workmanlike last time. And although a mark of 126 does look very attractive, I think he lacks the big field experience for this, and I think he's going to get found out a little bit for me. So I'm happy to take a chance on Glyn in this race. It's the only one that makes any real appeal. Shang Tang probably the second best on the list for me, but it was definitely going to be Glyn. That's the one I quite fancy for this race. Right, the last race on the box is the 3:45 at Wincanton. It's a handicap chase, 0-130. It's a real stickler of a race, really. It's very difficult to find a bet. Molyneux is very interesting. He always tends to run well, and 2 miles seems to be his trip. He was a good second behind Admiral Secret at Ludlow off this mark of 127. This doesn't look the strongest of races. I'm not going to go in too deep on it, to be honest with you, because I'm not going to have a bet. There's plenty of other opportunities everywhere else on Saturday. There's loads to like. Hopefully we can get a bloody winner in this new year, because it hasn't happened so far, although there has been a very much a lack of racing this side of the new year. So, but hopefully the cards stay on. Hopefully we have a good day on Saturday. The column will be out at 5:30 on GG.CO.UK. Thanks very much for listening. Sorry I rambled through it very quickly, but I'll see you again next week.